Thompson and St. Coeur side by side, racing it out. Who has the faster car to finish this thing? St. Coeur is gonna bring it home in first. What a race at the end of that thing. Caution, caution, caution. Come around the corner. Jamie Horn is going to be your winner here at the Mars Properties 200.
Hey! Is this heaven?
No. It's Iowa.
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the land of corn, the land of soybeans, and the land of Iowa Speedway. Coming to you live here for the North American Specialized 150 here in the series in the Doghouse Racing League. Only here on Doghouse Racing TV. Always. My name is Hunter Foley. I'm up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we are excited to be bringing you this race here tonight. Before we get into all of the racing action, as we have our drivers out here getting their practice laps in, I want to make sure that we pay the bills and thank all of our wonderful sponsors that we have making this thing go round for us. As always, as it has been for this entire season and will be until the end of the season, this is the Group 6 Cup Series. So special, huge shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they're passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their online presence, explore their wide range of services at group6inc.com, and see how they can drive your digital success. Special thanks to Group 6 for being our series sponsor once again this year. For the very first time this year, we are welcoming a new race sponsor up into the booth. Special thank you to North American Specialized for being our race sponsor tonight here at Iowa Speedway. North American Specialized is your one-stop shop for all freight movement needs. They're an asset-based brokerage with locations in Warren, Michigan, and Laredo, Texas, ready to move your freight, big or small. From dry vans to sprinter vans and even double-drop Constanegas, you name it, they move it. Backed by experience, equipment, and excellence when it comes to freight, North American Specialized delivers. Be sure to visit their website at www.naslcorp.com. Again, special shout out to North American Specialized for being our race sponsor here tonight. Sponsor brought in by our very own Brandon Trush out there on the track. Looking to have a good night. The Doghouse Racing League and the Group 6 Cup Series is also very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Thank you to Shoney's for being a longtime supporter and friend of the Doghouse Racing League and Group 6 Cup Series. And finally, certainly last but not least, we have a special thank you to Butt Kicker for being a longtime supporter and friend of the Group 6 Cup Series and Doghouse Racing League. If you want to take your sim racing experience to the next level, be sure you head on over to their website at thebuttkicker.com to pick up the very best in racing haptics. Whether it's iRacing or another racing simulator, you will take your experience to the next level. With anything you pick up over there, be sure to head on over there today and check it out. Again, thank you to Butt Kicker for being a longtime friend and sponsor. As always, we are here live on Doghouse Racing TV, so if you are in here, be sure that you not only subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a second of the action that is going to be coming to you for the rest of the year, not only here on Thursday nights, but also in all of the other leagues. Playoff time is just around the corner, so there's sure to be even more exciting action just around the corner. Make sure you like the stream, help support the drivers and us up here in the booth. And leave a comment, as always, supporting your favorite driver. They love hearing it. We love reading it. One of the highlights of our job, I do have to say. So be sure you get in the comments. As always, B-Mac already out there. Best of luck to Team BMP. Have a great race. Kevin, Adam, Gary, Nick, and my very favorite, Andrew. As always, showing a lot of love for Team BMP, who has been on a real run this back half of the season and showing some extra special support. Mr. Andrew St. Coeur in the number 12 machine. That all being said, thank you very much for choosing to spend some of your Thursday night here with us. I'm going to go ahead and shut up and stop yapping and turn it over to my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, so that we can talk a little bit about what makes Iowa unique. John, let's talk Iowa, man.
Well, first off, testing a new mic tonight, so I'm hoping this is loud enough, and if it's not, please let me know. But yeah, out here at Iowa, fun track, one of my probably top 5, top 10, maybe 6 on the leaderboard, favorite tracks to go to. They did do a remake of this track, or remodel this track a little bit in the corners. You can see here as we're watching Brandon Lopez and that number 3 car coming around turn 1 and 2. You can see he's sticking to that paved side down there on the bottom, and that big old strip that's paved coming out of turn 2, and there's also the same thing coming out of turn 4 as well. Provides just a little bit more grip. You're going to see these drivers try to stick to it, just like Lopez did there, along with Eric Foreman behind him. It can get very loose out here, though, and you got to really drive it in a little bit deeper, I think, than what you would expect here, but also work on saving some tires. The high side used to play very well here. I'm not sure how much that high side is actually going to come into effect tonight with this new repave. I don't think it's going to be super beneficial, but you might see some passes up there. But going to check out the race weather here that we got coming up tonight for this North American Specialized 150. Looking at a track temp of 118 degrees, which is kind of insane. So it can get a little slick out there tonight. Definitely going to burn off some tires. Yeah, that is spicy indeed. That's going to burn off some tires pretty quickly. Another key point that we're going to mention later in our keys to the race is what you just saw Lopez do there in the background behind this race info. Got to watch out for pit road. Man, that pit road sneaks up on you. Not a lot of wind tonight, not a lot of humidity, a little bit of cloud cover, so maybe that might come into play later on. But overall, I think we're set up for a really, really good one here.
Yeah, it's sure to be exciting, man. Short track racing, as always, in the Group 6 Cup Series Doghouse Racing League. Really good time, like you were just talking about. Iowa's kind of unique in the short track racing world. It's kind of new to the circuit. First of all, I think it only got built in like 2006, 2007. And it's also not the shortest of the short tracks. I mean, it's over 3/4 of a mile, actually almost 9/10 of a mile, 0.88 miles out there. So a little bit more room to work than you might have at a normal short track. And like you said, you got that new bottom line that's all paved, so a lot better grip down there. But a lot of drivers that are more used to the old Iowa are going to be wanting to go back to their old ways, go up top and try to make some movement, and it's just a lot looser up there. So definitely going to be unique to see how these guys kind of adjust to the differences and make it happen out there.
Yeah, I was actually on the last I guess official race that took place on this pavement that they had before they did the repave and update through iRacing, and was running the line one way and then came back about an hour later and they had updated it and it was completely different. I went to having a really good finish to a really bad finish because I couldn't really figure it out, but looking to figure it out here tonight. Zach Michaels, he's heading off pit lane, going to be one of our first ones off pit road in that 34 machine. Zach trying to get a pretty good run here tonight, keep on moving up in the points. We will pull up those points for you in just a second once we go to our warm-up session here. Michael currently sitting 10th in the points, fell back one spot after last week. So he needs a good run tonight with playoffs coming up.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. So, I mean, every point is going to matter. These guys are already competitive. You know, everyone's going to be fighting to get in those top spots, regardless of playoffs or not. But definitely going to make a bigger difference here with playoffs just around the corner. We've got 175 laps to do here tonight at Iowa Speedway. We will have stage breaks at lap 44 and lap 88. Again, if this is your first time here joining us, if you're one of the 15 wonderful people that's out there in the stream right now, we do not throw a yellow flag for the stages. It's just for bonus points. So a lot of times, especially if you see that things have kind of gotten a little more spread out, a little more split up between the drivers, you'll notice a lot more racing and jockeying kind of come into play kind of in the last like 3 or 4 laps or so of those stages. People trying to get up into the top 10, get some bonus points. Sheila Millette out in the comments saying, good luck, number 94. Mom and Dad are watching as always. Great to have Sheila joining us here tonight. As we see these drivers out here trying to get their qualifying laps down. Practice was really, really tight. I was looking back at some of these practice times, and it was crazy, crazy tight. I mean, it was hundredths of a second separating a lot of these drivers, and Andrew St. Corger's out there puts down a really fast lap to get this qualifying going, but a lot of other drivers out there. I mean, it is tight.
Yeah, and it seemed like he kind of hang back a little bit on his first lap. Just make sure you get a good one underneath you, and then just kind of send it on that second lap. So he was at the bottom of the leaderboard there, and then just jumped up to the top really quickly there, all the way to the pole position. But Jamie Horn has since then taken that spot back. Seeing what Brandon Lopez can do here in that 3-car. Lopez, kind of a newcomer to the league, been pretty fast, putting on the show every single night, racing the ARCA series, racing out here as well. He's going to be starting 13th place tonight. For now, he does have another lap. Going to try to improve on that. Spoke a little too soon. Also sitting out here watching Tyler Millette as well. Good to have him back. Know he had to miss a race or two because of some stuff going on, but glad to see Tyler back out here. Tyler's been a veteran of the league for a while. Got a lot of respect from a lot of the drivers, so
100%. Got Kathy Trush also out in the comments. Team Trush, number 23. Good luck, Brandon. Nice to see the sponsor support from NAS Logistics. So not just a shout out for Brandon, shout out for our race sponsor as well. And from the broadcast booth, I gotta say a heartfelt thank you to all of the Group 6 Cup Series, the Doghouse Racing League mothers and grandmothers that are out there joining us week in and week out. It is hands down one of my very favorite parts about being up here in the booth. So thank you all, as always, not just the mothers and grandmothers out there watching. We appreciate everybody out there, but little extra special thank you to those people.
yeah, absolutely. We talked to Jamie Horn about it before. It'd be a lot different without that kind of support. So it's good to know people are watching. Got 17 people out here watching right now. Hopefully we can keep on climbing that number. The support has been coming out really well this season, and love to see it. This is kind of our first time taking over the broadcast side for Doghouse. Atwood just a little bit loose there. He's in that 13th spot, though, as he finishes up his second lap. This doesn't even matter here. Go ahead and tap the wall. There you go. I'm not sure if you got a chance to see the broadcast if you watch it in live time, but I did throw a little bit of Field of Dreams. Little quotation in there, but I had to. I don't see anybody else coming out for a qualifying time. Right now, I'm showing Mike Leftwich, Josh Cully, Ray Rittenauer have not put down a time. I doubt Josh Cully will. Mike Leftwich, though, he's been kind of tearing it up through the qualifying times consistently at the top, and he's actually not going to put down a time as we're going to go into this warm-up session here. And as we do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this current point standings so you can see where your favorite driver is sitting right now coming into Iowa. currently at the top of the leaderboard. Got Jamie Horn about 806 points, about 96 points behind him is Andrew St. Coeur. I know there's been a couple of missed races from St. Coeur, which kind of have set him back just a little bit. But for a good run here tonight, he's been on a roll lately, so he could definitely do something to move himself up in the points. Teammate Kevin Thompson right behind him, about 148 points behind the leader, 52 points behind his teammate Eric Worman. Won Tuesday night in the oh my gosh, where were we? Michigan, the ARCA series over on Tent City Broadcasting for Doghouse Racing League. Picked up the win there. Good run by Eric Worman, trying to do the same thing here tonight, pick up the win, move up. Just McMahon's gonna be in 5th place. He's had some bad luck and able to still maintain that top 5 spot, which is super impressive. I mean, Just McMahon's due. If we can just be honest, I think he's due for something. He's just had a little bit of bad luck coming to him. But Gary Klume's gonna be sitting in 6th this season right now. Chris Simon 7th, Adam Thompson 8th, Adam Gardner 9th, Zach Michael in a 10th place. And then track down a little bit, Zach Miller at 11th, Josh Cully moving up 2 spots into that 12th position. He's had some good runs from the back to the front, missed a few races and still up there in 12th. So looking for some more good stuff out of Mr. Cully here tonight at Iowa.
Very well done on the points there, John.
Doing my part, man.
Got Sandra Horn in the comments saying good luck to number 98, Jamie Horn, who, unless something changes here, looks like is going to be our pole sitter as this thing gets started. A little turnaround there on the practice track. Looks like people are trying to get finished up here. Looks like 23 seconds or just over 23 seconds is going to be kind of the mark to beat for fast laps right now.
Yeah, a lot of leagues don't do these warm-up sessions like we're doing here, but I kind of appreciate it because especially with an open setup, you forget to change your setup from your qualifying to your race setup. And sometimes you see cars blow up in the first 40 laps because they're just running it so hard and not realizing they're in their qualifying setup. Or they're out front just crushing it and then realize, oh, I'm in my qualifying setup, this isn't good. And they'll fall to the back pretty quick. And I'm saying that because I have done it not just one time, unfortunately. See if we can find Brandon Trush out there. Got him a new paint scheme for the night. That is by Nap Daddy Racing. Got to show it off just a little bit, but also special thanks to Brandon Trush for bringing in a race sponsor. Not only sponsoring this race, but also has 3 more races that he is going to be sponsoring, or his company, I guess, is going to be sponsoring coming up for this season. And that helps out a ton. Cannot explain to you guys how much it helps out. Support the league and keep the league going. There are overhead costs associated with running the league, so any little bit helps. If you would like to sponsor a race for the Doghouse Racing League, you can contact either Daniel Wilkerson or Jamie Horn. I believe maybe even Tyler Millette could get you in the right place. Hunter Simpson could get you in the right place, or Bill Gentry. Just to shout out a few of the admins here. These guys have about 30 more seconds of qualifying, or the qualifying warm-up left right now. While we're about to wrap this up, we'll go ahead and pull up what we believe to be the keys to the race tonight. Starting off with the first one is find the grip. We talked about how this track had that repave with the strip coming off of turn 2 and turn 4, and just like about the bottom 2.5 lanes being paved. So you really got to stay there and try to maintain some grip and keep those tires underneath you. The second one's going to be easy off off the exit of the corners. This track is a very, what we call a right rear track. I mean, you're going to be driving off the right rear car. It's going to be a little loose coming off the corner. You can definitely spin it coming out. And then our last one is the pit road entry, and you will see some people tonight either hit that wall or get speeding penalties, miss pit road, and have to stay out. It sneaks up on you.
100%. It sneaks up especially bad here at Iowa, like we were talking about earlier. It's a kind of a unique short track where it's like it's not as short as some of the other short tracks that are out on the circuit, but the way they have that thing set up, you have to kind of dive off the turn, get down to speed so quickly. I'd honestly be kind of surprised if we don't see any pit road penalties here tonight.
Yeah, there's bound to be some, man. Like, it's hard. I kind of was victim to this last week when we raced here at Iowa. Having a pretty good run, you know. Saved tires well, was catching up, and just totally whiffed trying to get down pit road, and cost me a whole lot there. So I've already seen some people in practice tonight miss that entry or try to get there and had to lock them up and almost spin. So that's going to definitely be a factor, but we are gridding up now. If you would like to give us our grid for tonight.
I suppose I can handle that. Well, able to maintain the pole position here tonight, as we mentioned just a few minutes ago, the number 98 machine to Jamie Horn is going to be starting on the pole here tonight. Before Andrew St. Coeur took the podium here last week, Jamie Horn was on a 2-race win streak. He's going to try to get back in there tonight at Iowa. Got Mr. Adam Thompson, 3rd place finisher last week, starting in 2nd place. Andrew St. Coeur, as we mentioned, won last week, going to be starting in 3rd. Zachary Miller looking to put some really good races together, been running really well here recently, in 4th. Kevin Thompson, BMP, teammate of Andrew St. Coeur, starting 5th. Tyler Millette, good to have him back here with us in the 94 car, starting 6th. Gary Armijo starting 7th. Eric Warman starting 8th. I believe you mentioned he was the winner in our ARCA series here on Tuesday night. Brandon Trush, number 23, starting in 9th. Brought along our sponsor for tonight in North American Specialized. Justin McMahon starting 10th. Zach Michael starting 11th. Brandon Lopez starting 12th. Nicholas Atwood starting in 13th. Mark Dumont starting 14th. Tony Martin in 15th. Richard Leclerc starting 16th. Joe McKnight starting 17th. That will end our drivers who put down a qualifying time. After that, it will be gridded up by practice time. So after that, it should go to the number 88 of Josh Cully. Then we'll go to Raymond Rittenauer starting 19th. And then it is going to be Mike Leftwich starting 20th and Bill Gentry starting 21st. And that is how we are going to line them up here tonight at Iowa Speedway, here in the Group 6 Cup Series for the North American Specialized 150. Got Christos in the comments saying, it's unfortunate that I'm not racing tonight. Rooting for Shoney's Racing. Good luck, Chris and Mike. And Sean Thompson saying, good luck to Kevin. Sean been in the comments before. Trying to, well, for lack of a better term, kind of bribe Kevin to a win. And it's worked very well in the past.
It did work. It worked 2 races in a row, actually.
It didn't kind of work. It worked really good.
Yeah, that was back in Atlanta when we had the Atlanta doubles. Kevin Thompson taking both the 1st and 2nd race, battling out with his teammate in that 12 car, Andrew St. Coeur. Kevin Thompson bribed with a t-shirt to win the race. Ended up pulling it out, not just once, but went back to back. So hopefully he got 2 t-shirts, because that is worth it.
I mean, if it stands for a reason, it's just logical at that point. If you get a t-shirt for the first one, you got to get a t-shirt for the second one. But who's going to be taking home a t-shirt or some other prize here tonight? Pace car is off. We are underway here in the North American Specialized 150 in the Group 6 Cup Series Doghouse Racing League. Jamie Horn off to a great jump and gets this thing underway. They are stacked up behind him. People trying to figure out where they want to be on the track right now.
See Kevin Thompson already on the inside of that 90 car there as Zach Miller trying to work his way up. We know Zach Miller has a lot of really good short-term speed on a lot of these tracks, seeing as he can get to the front tonight. I really like Adam Thompson here tonight. I like Tyler Millette here a lot tonight too.
Yeah, I think like you said, I think Tyler Millette's going to be due. I think Eric Warman was running really, really fast. He's been running really fast, and obviously coming off a win at the ARCA race. I think you definitely see him near the front toward the end of this thing. But I mean, man, Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Coeur just been running so well here in the Cup Series. Hard to bet against them, but been a while since Adam Thompson's got back in the on the catbird seat. Oh no, 24 machine into the wall. Number 7 starting to go around. He's trying to catch it.
It's going to be Justin McMahon in that 24 car, Gary Armijo in the 7 car, both able to save it, keep it straight early in this run. Don't know how much damage either one has taken on that. McMahon fell back about 8 spots from that. He looks like he's going to bring it down pit road, actually.
Yeah, Gary was able to kind of save it out in the middle of the track, but unfortunately for Justin, he got up in the wall pretty good before he was able to save it.
Got Eric Warman making a pass right here on Tyler Millette, trying to get to that inside. That's going to be a big key tonight. I think he's trying to get to the inside first coming out of this corner. The problem is you got to really have a good push out of the corner to complete the pass here at this track, since it is so small. Very wide exits at this turns too that they have. You don't want to push it too hard because you'll end up spinning around in a circle, but it's very key to make sure you have a really good run off, keep that wheel straight, drive straight up to the wall as straight as you can, and get real flush with the wall.
Yeah, that was one of the things that you and I were talking about before the race started, and I know it didn't make it into the keys to the race in particular, but I mean, realistically, this is, like you said, it's kind of a wider, short track. Do you think you have all this extra room to try to really dive bomb out of the corners, diamond out? It just looks like there's so much more room, but in reality, it's just kind of asking for you to get too much wheel input and put yourself in that inside wall there. And I know we've already seen a couple guys start to get a little bit loose, and I know you talked about it at the beginning of the race, but Iowa already kind of a track that's known to be a little bit loose, especially before the pave job. But with these track temps, man, I mean, it is going to be save tire city out there if you want to be up at the front when this thing ends.
Yeah, and the cloud cover has kind of brought the track temp down a little bit from practice and qualifying to about 112. And you'd be surprised how much that difference makes of about 6 degrees. Can make a big difference on the track time, or the lap times especially, but can also kind of help get that car a little bit more tight and a little bit more true to what you want. And also, these drivers are setting up their cars depending on what the track temp may be. So if it's a hot track, you kind of want to do some different adjustments than if it's a cold track.
And it's so funny too. A lot of times we'll talk to the drivers after the race and be like, did you make any adjustments during the race? Did something change or whatever? And sometimes you'll get this very in-depth answer about, yeah, I felt this, so I wanted to do this, and I got that done on the second pit road. And, you know, third time I came down, I was able to really get it in tune, and, you know, that's how I think I'm able to be here tonight. And then other times, actually kind of thinking back to Adam Thompson and his third place finish last week, we asked him if he'd done anything. He's like, man, I don't know how to do any of that.
I think he said he just had to suck it up and start driving.
Get out of his way, Lucius. He needs to do some driving.
Eric Warman all over the bumper of Trush. Trush goes down. Oh, looks like Dumont kind of overran that corner just a little bit there. Slides up to Eric Warman.
I think Dumont was trying to get low on Brandon Trush there. I don't think he was quite able to get down there. And good driving by both him and Eric Warman to prevent there being a yellow flag right there.
And see, that's another thing is we'll come back. We're in turn 3 and 4 here. When we come back around to 1 and 2, you'll kind of see some differences in driving line. You really have to try to arc into this turn 1 a little late, almost to your left fronts at the top corner of that pavement, like Brandon Trush did there. If you start a little bit earlier, your car's going to be a lot tighter coming through the corner. You're not going to have really good exit speed as either, so you want to try to make a curve as straight as possible, if that makes any sense at all, just so you can keep that wheel straight. The easiest logic is 4 tires going in one direction is faster than 2 tires going right and the other 2 tires going straight.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
It looks
like the number 14 machine there's able to get that pass done on Brandon Trush. Eric Warman going to be looking to make his move here as soon as he can as well. So we started to see kind of a lot of separation here already, only 15 laps into the race. Do you kind of see, 14's very, very loose and goes all the way around.
Hold the brake, hold the brake. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was almost trouble for about 3 different people.
Yeah, that was scary.
And there's the looseness we were talking about.
See if we can rewind just a little bit to that there. Yep, just kind of snapped loose on him there and gets around. My camera's following the wrong person.
You get the point, though.
See if we can ride in the cockpit cam here with Mr. Mark Dumont. And no hits at all, just coming out of that corner and gets just a little bit loose there. And then it's just harder to save from there. You're going downhill trying to pick up speed and also getting sideways. It's pretty tough to save. That's a recipe for disaster. Dumont's going to bring it down pit road to see if there's any damage. Maybe get those tires cleaned up. Maybe making a little adjustment here as well. Race leader still going to be Jamie Horn.
Yeah, not too much change up at the top, at least so far in this race. Only 18 laps into 175 here, but Jamie Horn started first, staying first is exactly the way you want it to be if you get that pole position. Andrew St. Coeur's moved up a spot. Him and Adam Thompson have just swapped spots. Everyone else is really just kind of +1, +2 here and there. Brendan Trush up 3 spots into 6th place right now. Zach Michael up 3 spots as well into 8th place, started 11th. A couple spots down for Tyler Millette, started in 6th, back to 9th currently. Brandon Lopez moved up a couple spots, as has Nicholas Atwood, and then in a surprise to exactly no one, Josh Cully already up 7 spots into 12th place.
Yeah, Josh Cully, our reigning MVP for biggest mover. The Jordan of biggest movers.
I mean, no one does it better. I mean, Eric Warman, a lot of times will be trying to give him a run for his money. A lot of times we'll see Eric kind of start more toward the back and work his way forward, but really good qualifying effort from Eric here tonight. Only moved up 1 spot so far, but is already in 7th place, well into the top 10. I could not tell you the last time that I saw Josh Cully qualify, but you will always see him moving forward, and unless he gets caught up in something, very much expect to see him in the top 10 at the end of these races.
Yeah, like in my mind, I was trying to simplify it as best I can. There's kind of 2 schools of drivers. You got guys that have a really good short run speed and guys that have really good long run speed. And not saying they flip a switch in the car or whatever, but some people gravitate to the school of thought that it's better to get out front, stay out front, good track position, cautions will happen, you'll still be out front. And other guys like to kind of hang back, let the tires settle in, let the guys up front kind of come back to them as the run goes on, their tires wear, and you have fresh tires. And I kind of gravitate towards the Eric Warman school of thought. I love what he does and how he does it. Generally, when I race with him now, if I'm passing Eric Warman, I know I'm pushing it too hard because he will be at the front. I actually had that same talk on our TikTok stream of the night. If I'm ahead of Eric Warman, I know I'm going too fast right now. Like, I need to back off.
Well, these guys are about to start going fast again. The pace car is off, lap 21 as we cross the stripe here. Huge jump for Jamie Horn. Really great restart. Look, Adam Thompson wasn't quite ready to get going there. Andrew St. Coeur jumps back out into 2nd place. Kevin Thompson and Brandon Trush both moving around as well. It's going to move Adam Thompson back to 5th.
Got some good racing going on back here. I saw Lopez have a little blink there for a second Now he's back on the track trying to chase down Zach Miller in that 90 car. Eric Warman here on the high side of Tyler Millette gets a little bit into Lopez. Maybe a little differences on braking points there. Going to that corner, going back a little bit, see Joe McKnight and Mark Dumont kind of battling out. Dumont dive bombing down there below Tony Martin, trying to get his track position back.
Mark Dumont is a man on a mission, trying to bounce back, use those fresh tires that he probably just picked up, get some track position going. We restarted this race with 19 cars on the lead lap. Gary Armijo is currently running in 20th. He is 10 laps down, but he is back out on the track, as is Justin McMahon, who's going to be 14 laps down, running in 21st, but also back out on the track. And both of them trying to move their way back forward. Still plenty of race left to go to try to get some of those spots back.
Got Sean Thompson in the comments here. Okay, go get another shirt. I'll give you the short version of that.
Yeah, we could probably get away with that one, but no use in burning it up early in the race if there's comes a necessity for some of those PG-13 words, you know?
Yeah, the network only gives us 3 a year, so.
Want to make sure you save it for a special occasion.
Andrew St. Coeur is kind of reeling in Jamie Horn just a little bit in these corners. I'll try to pull up some sectors for you here compared to somebody a little bit further back. St. Coeur right now faster through 1 and 2.
Man, don't let down, but Mark Dumont is a man on a mission. I just look back, and he was riding behind Brandon Lopez just a lap or two ago, and he has already gotten around him. He is passing Eric Warman. He is on the bottom of the track and just letting it rip right now. He's trying to get around. I believe that's going to be Brandon Trush right there. Or that's not Brandon Trush. That is, that's Zach Michael.
Yeah, Zach Michael might be working with a borderline defective steering wheel. I know he had some issues with the mount for his steering wheel last week. Was able to get it fixed actually through a 3D printer at his job. So 3D printed mount for Zach Michael here tonight. He's back out with us. Good to see him get that thing fixed and back out. Teammate Zach Miller right behind him.
Just really cool. And look at Mark Dumont go, man. He's come back from that spin out that he had. Brought up that first yellow flag of the night. He worked his way through half the field, and he's already almost up to the bumper of Adam Thompson. Adam Thompson coming over the radio saying he's going to let Mark Dumont have it. Lets him have the bottom of the track, and Mark Dumont in that 14 car goes around.
As we ride along here with Mark Dumont kind of seeing the line that he's running. Got some good speed, doing a nice job trying to keep that wheel tape straight up and down so he doesn't burn it off.
Man, that 14 car is a man on a mission right now.
Meanwhile, St. Coeur brought it down from half a second to about 0.2 seconds to the bumper of Jamie Horn. He's feeling good.
Another big mover out on the track. We're talking about it right before we were about to go back green, but the number 88 machine of Josh Cully started in 19th place, only 2 spots off of the last spot for as far as drivers that we had take the track here tonight. And he is up into 7th place. Christo's in the comments saying fresh tires are pretty fast here. It is looking like the fresh tires are kind of ruling the world. I mean, Mark Dumont is flying, but he was also the only one other than the drivers who were involved in that yellow flag earlier to bring it down so far.
Yeah, and if you're guys like Jamie Horn, St. Coeur, Kevin Thompson, Adam Thompson up here at the front, if I'm them, I'm using Mark Dumont as kind of a marker to see, okay, well, he's got fresh tires as of, 10, 15 laps ago. Let's see what my time looks like over the course of the next few laps to see where I'm probably going to experience some fall off, how fast I need to be going, if I should be pushing it more. If Dumont's able to just ride this out the entire time just like this, Might be a strategy that comes into play here in these later stages of the race. But speaking of stages, coming up to the end of stage 1 here in the next 10 laps at lap 44, Dumont trying to pick up that win for the stage.
I would love to know what the splits are between Dumont and some of these other drivers right now. Because, I mean, he is looking like he is just hot knife through butter, flying through this pack.
Pull up the deltas between Mark Dumont and Andrew St. Coeur. You can see over the past 6 laps, looks like he's gained about 1.6 seconds. If I'm doing my maths correctly, maybe 1.7.
I mean, that is flying.
He's right here
last
on
lap,
the bumper of Jamie Horn.
Last lap by, he was over a 10th faster than Jamie Horn. I mean, he's out here running 24.2s, and I'm looking at most of the other drivers out here. And Andrew St. Coeur had a good last lap with a 24.4. Kevin Thompson, 24.6. Josh Cully ran a 24.37. Brandon Trush last lap, 24.6. I mean, Mark Dumont's putting down laps right now that are about a 10th faster than everybody.
Yeah, looking at the tower here on the left side, you can see that is their last lap time that they ran. So it looks like it kind of might be starting to balance out here between Jamie Horn and Mark Dumont.
Could be that exact thing that you were just talking about, where it's like other drivers maybe still trying to feel out their tires, see where they're going to have fall off, where they're not going to have fall off. I know a lot of people are still trying to get used to the update from a month ago where it kind of really affected the tire fall off and what these guys see out there on the track. And so I know a lot of these guys are still trying to figure out where they can be and where they can't be in terms of how hard a lap can you run early in a run.
Yeah, and
I mean, Mark Dumont came out and was flying.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was getting at, using him as a marker. You saw him really getting after it for about 20 to 25 laps there. Now it's kind of starting to even out after about 25 laps. I don't know if Mark Dumont decided to save a little bit or if the tires are actually starting to burn up, but he will have a pretty good spot here if he can hold on to it for the stage finish.
100%. I mean, and that's still really useful knowledge, like you were talking about. That's something you can stick in your back pocket and use later. To where even if you know, like, okay, if it's going to be a really long green flag run, maybe towards the middle of this race, I mean, we've still got 134 laps left to go. Math, I think. But if you are one of these drivers out here and you know if you can save a tire set till the end and we have a late caution, I mean, you know you have about a 25 lap buffer where you can just go crazy. I mean, we saw Mark Dumont out here, like he's for 25 laps, just flying around people. No one had anything that could touch it.
Yeah, so if these guys are saving, they know they got about 25 and they can just grip it and rip it and go.
And see, the thing is that it doesn't even really look like he's experiencing fall off in the sense of like, you know, he's in trouble or especially loose or anything like that. I mean, I can't speak to what's in his head or what he's fighting inside the car, but I mean, he's still staying right there, pretty close. Not sure if anybody at home can hear me right now, but it looks like we are having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, we just had a big
Not sure if there's an internet issue going on or what's going on there on my broadcast partner's side, but
Are you still up?
currently trying to get it booted back up. Yes, sir.
All right, it just said the network closed for all of iRacing, so I'm just gonna restart this and we will be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're back.
Glad to be back, man. That was
Just
a fun little hiccup.
unprompted commercial break that iRacing decided that we needed to take right there. Yeah, it said the entire network closed, so I was afraid that we lost the race for a second completely for all the drivers, but I guess it was just my side.
Don't you love it when that happens?
Oh, I love it.
Well, luckily for everybody at home, and do have to say we had 21 people in the stream when things went a little haywire there, and we still have 21 people out there. So thank you all for sticking with us through the little internet hiccup there. But thankfully for everyone at home, not much has changed since we left you about 5 minutes ago. Jamie Horn still out in front of this thing. Mark Dumont running second, has lost a little bit of time on Jamie Horn, back to about a half a second, and does look like Andrew St. Coeur and that number 12 BMP machine is starting to close in, as is his teammate Kevin Thompson, and that's number 6. Adam Thompson still kind of running out there by himself in 5th. He's about 5 seconds off of the leaders right now, and Josh Cully up into the 6th spot from 19th. He's going to be about 6 seconds back. Looks like we have a battle out there going on. That is going to be for the 9th spot. Nicholas Atwood trying to get inside the top 10 there. Got Brandon Bakey in the comments saying, let's go St. Coeur. St. Coeur now 1.2 seconds off of the leader, Jamie Horn, and only right at a half a second back on number 2, Mark Dumont. Starting to see things get a lot more split up here on lap 58. We did have our first stage at lap 44. Stage win points are going to go to Mr. Jamie Horn, who has been wall to wall so far in this thing. You get to see Tony Martin there in that number 2 Miller Lite car. He is going to be going down pit road. That is going to put him a lap down. 4 cars laps down currently. Tony Martin having just gone 1 lap down there. Richard Leclerc in the 117 car is going to be 2 laps down in 19th. And then Gary Armijo and Justin McMahon are both going to be laps down. Gary Armijo still out on the track, 10 laps down. It looks like Justin McMahon has just decided to call it a night. He was 18 laps down, running 21st. And he will call it a night after that. Brandon again in the comments. Coors Light. The mountains are blue. I don't know why I never thought of that, given his last name and all. And I'm kind of mad that I never did, because that's really good.
Yeah, that is probably going to be a new nickname for him. I don't know the way he's been racing these races lately, though. That's Coors heavy. Or the absolute class of Coors Banquet. Jamie Horn coming down pit road now. That's going to be your race leader. So Mark Dumont's going to take over that number 1 spot. Looks like Adam Thompson also coming down pit road.
I heard him call out and also put it in the driver chat that he was going to be bringing it down. And then Mark Dumont was trying to get it slowed down there. Heard him come over the radio. Sounded a little panicked there. Sounded like the might need to go change my shorts voice. Was trying to get it woed down there. I just don't think he quite got it woed down enough, and I think he was expecting a little bit more from the brakes in that thing.
Yeah, and these guys can adjust the brakes in their car. Not during the race like the F1 cars can a little bit, but before the race starts for these setups, they can adjust what's called the master cylinder to add a little bit more squishy brake or a little bit more stiff brake. It's the only way I know how to describe it.
Squishy and stiff.
Yeah, do you want like 1990 Ford truck brakes or do you want 2018 Honda Civic?
Sure, Brandon Lopez in the number 3 car said he's going to be bringing it down here in just a few laps, or I think bringing it down here now. Mark Dumont's still out there on the racetrack. Up until now, he would have had some of the freshest tires out there after that spin that caused the first caution of the night.
Yeah, we'll see how long these guys can ride it. It looks like Jamie Horn came down lap 61, so we know we can get at least 61 plus 4, as Cully's still out here on lap 65. Has not brought it down, and whatever he brings it down on, we know that Mark Dumont can get 17 plus more laps. As you see Zach Michael getting around the outside of Cully there. Not a pass for position. Zach Michael trying to get his lap back. Got Eric Warman bringing it down pit road now.
Yeah, it looks like we only have 4 cars left out there that have not brought it down yet. Now it's going to be 3 now that Eric Warman's bringing it down. It's just going to be Mike Leftwich, Josh Cully, and Mark Dumont. Cully and Leftwich are on the same pit road timing, but Mark Dumont has about 15 lap newer tires and probably a little bit more gas in there as well. But we did see when Mark Dumont flew to the front after coming off of pit road there. Fresh tires make a huge difference out here, so I do expect to see him probably losing a little bit of time here, as we see some of these drivers that have already brought it down pit road trying to get their laps back.
Yeah, it looks like you might actually go 2 laps down here for a pit cycle. You will get those laps back as the leaders start to pit, but it's a little daunting sometimes as you're riding around seeing, man, I'm 2 laps down right now.
No, 100%. It can definitely be a mental game. And, I mean, we've seen drivers do that here in the Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League before. It's one of those things where, like you said, even though you are 2 laps down, I mean, if you are the guy that's out front leading this thing, I mean, if you can build enough of a lead on some of these guys, if you're running that well, that can absolutely throw a wrench in how other people have to run their pit road strategy the next time by. Now you just saw, for example, you just saw Eric Warman go around along with Tyler Millette around the 14 of Mark Dumont. They're still a lap down. They still got to go all the way back around.
Oops. Did I lose you again?
I can still hear you.
Okay, cool. Kind of just like cut out on me there. Yeah, I mean, they still got to go a lap around, but when Dumont pits, he's going to go 2 laps down too. So you got to think about that difference and how that's going to play out. And I think that Mark Dumont may have tried to aim for pit road a few laps ago, because now these drivers got fresh tires. They're making up that time that you would have been out ahead. Yeah, I mean, like right now, he's only losing time, and he's going to have to hope that he can get in the pits and use that same strategy he did before to get way out front. But I don't think guys like Jamie Horn and St. Coeur, Kevin Thompson are super worried right now.
Yeah, I think at this point he might just be trying to lean into making this a strategy play. Because like you said, I mean, at this point there's no benefit to staying out. You're losing time. These guys are getting their laps back. There's only 1 car left out on the track that is even on the same pit road cycle as you, and that's going to be Mike Leftwich. Mike Leftwich still leaving it out. He hadn't even been down pit road once yet. But, I mean, you're starting to see people getting their laps back completely. I mean, Jamie Horn, Andrew St. Coeur both just got their laps back. So they are only 23 seconds off of the leader, and they have much newer tires. So, I mean, at this point, you're going to go a full lap, if not 2 laps down to someone who's much faster than you already. And then you're going to have to really put some effort into burning your brand new tires to even get caught back up. Unless, of course, we do have another caution, which we have not had since, I believe, lap 15.
And I wonder, at the pace that Mike Leftwich is going, if he is... I was about to say trying to save some fuel, but he's bringing it now. He's got 75 laps in that thing.
Oh, no, he missed pit road.
Oh, we talked about it before. It was in the keys to the race, man. That pit road just sneaks up on you.
It sneaks up on you, and that is wildly unfortunate for Mike there. I know he was trying to bring it down that time and got slowed all the way down. No issues with speed there. But now you're just going to lose so much time. And on a track where you could already lose 2 laps just by going down pit road, I mean, that's going to be tough to come back from.
And what's even worse is if you ran that car out of fuel all the way to the end, and now you're trying
Eric
to...
Warman almost goes all the way around.
I'm trying to find Warman.
It was right at the entry of pit road. Saw it out of the corner of my eye while we were watching. I was watching Mike Leftwich go down pit road. Eric Warman and Richard Leclerc were kind of going back and forth, and it looked like Warman went high on the track and was trying to bring it back down. Back end almost went out from under him.
Yeah, and right now, looking at these deltas between Mark Dumont and Jamie Horn, who has Andrew St. Coeur fresh on his heels, I mean, Horn has made up about 6 seconds over the past 6 laps. That's about a second a lap. And Mark Dumont's going to bring it in now.
And that is going to officially complete the green flag pit road cycle here. So again, you're going to have Mark Dumont out on the racetrack with about 17 lap newer tires than everybody. Unfortunately, from this position, depending on how quick he's able to get it back off of pit road, you might be fighting from behind some laps here.
Yeah, he's still going to have to pit one more time, too. If we saw Mike Leftwich stretch it out to about 75, 76 laps, you're definitely going to have to pit one more time regardless of how much fuel you save.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolute maximum. Like you said, for Mike, that's probably a gas thing at that point where he has to bring it down and get it filled back up. But, I mean, you are not running fast on 75 lap old tires. I think we've seen that and shown not only how important it is to have fresh tires if you want to go fast, but, I mean, like you said, Eric Warman out there on fresh tires gaining full seconds every single lap. I mean, that's just not sustainable for the end of a race.
Looks like Dumont's going to cycle out a lap down right now. He is in 11th place, trying to catch up here and get his lap back the hard way, barring any cautions coming up. And right now, if there is a caution, I don't know if these guys would get the wave around because I don't think the top 9 would pit. They might stay out and try to hold out a little bit.
100%. I mean, the way it stands right now, I mean, you've got last car on the lead lap is Josh Cully, who's currently running in 9th. After that, you have drivers from 10th back to 15th are all a lap down. And then you're going to have 16th, 17th, and 18th at 2 laps down. And then Gary Armijo is 10 laps down in 19th. Tony Martin is 13 laps down in 20th. He's still on pit road. And then Justin McMahon, the only driver currently out of the race.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Adam Thompson, but he's down 2 laps right now.
I don't know if he had any issues like getting down pit road or what ended up happening, but yeah, like you said, 2 laps down currently. Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Coeur still leading this thing, and there is the 14 of Mark Dumont out there on his 17 lap newer tires, and he is going to get that lap back. So at this point, if you're someone like Mark Dumont or one of these drivers that is a lap down, I mean, do you try to go out there and really burn it down to kind of cycle back around to get in this thing? Do you wait to try to cycle back out pit road wise? What do you think?
I was thinking about that just a second ago, and I almost think that you may short pit him here coming up. Try to get as much time back here. I mean, just completely burn your tires down to the ground, make up as much time, and then maybe short pit him and try to have more of a long run car. And then just burn it up with, I don't know, like, not push the pace that he's pushing now, but push a little bit, push just a little bit to try to get out front. But it's kind of a weird spot because you're banking on no cautions happening. You still got to pit again. If you pit around lap 110, you could probably make it around, and you'll still have fresh tires. But
it would definitely be close. But I mean, we talk about it all the time. I love a good pit road strategy, and whether it's something that's done on purpose or whether you're just taking advantage of a strategy that not a lot of other people are doing. I don't know if a lot of the other drivers out here are trying to save and push their cars out a little bit longer. I don't know if Mark Dumont's really just out there tearing them up, or if it's kind of a combination of the two. But I mean, Mark Dumont was a full lap down, and I mean, he is flying around the track.
well, we got a new race leader, Andrew St. Coeur, making that pass there around Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn, I believe, still picking up stage 2 after lap 88, but St. Coeur are able to get around him immediately.
Yep, Andrew St. Coeur, our new race leader here on lap 90 of 175 that we are here at the North American Specialized 150 here at Iowa Speedway. That is the first time we have had another race leader other than Jamie Horn that was not pit road involved. It's the first time Jamie Horn's gotten passed for the lead, I will say. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of strategies that come into play as this thing goes on, especially if we end up staying green with this thing. Currently got 10 cars on the lead lap, Tyler Millette being the last car on the lead lap. You can see him right there in front of Andrew St. Coeur. I mean, he's only about a second and a half ahead of our race leader, Andrew St. Coeur there, but still have another 5 cars that are a lap down and still just trying to get back around and see if they can get involved with this thing.
Checking in here with Brandon Trush. He's got Josh Cully all on his heels there. Josh Cully sitting in 9th, Trush sitting in 8th place. Mark Dumont still moving his way up as he gets around Nick Atwood.
I think Mark might have been taking your strategy there of just burn it to the ground, and maybe, I don't know if he's planning on short pitting or if he's just going with the burn it to the ground side, but I mean, he is flying. Looks like the number 7 of Gary Armijo, currently 12 laps down in 19th, is going to be trying to bring it down pit road here this time by.
Yeah, I mean, I don't claim to know what I'm talking about or know the exact strategy here, but I'm just thinking, let's say Armijo is about to miss pit road and comes right back out. If I am trying to think about this, I'm going to try to put the fastest laps down as possible for as long as I can until my deltas, which on a lot of these guys' screens, they're showing how fast they are compared to people in front of them. And green is good. Green means we're catching them or leaving them. And red is bad. Red means they're catching us or they're leaving us. But as soon as those deltas start turning red, that's when I'm pitting. But I'm going to try to run it as hard as I can for as long as I can. Or at least to make it to lap 110 so I know that the fuel will get me there.
Like you said, I mean, if you're going to do a 55, 60 lap straight green flag run, your tires are probably going to be in pretty rough shape by the end of that. But at least gas-wise, you can make it. Because, I mean, we're seeing these leaders. I mean, they're not exactly, like, slouching out there. I mean, they're still putting people a lap down. We just saw the 94 machine of Tyler Millette get lapped by Andrew St. Coeur there. And just in front of him, I'm not 100% sure who that is.
I'm not either. I'm trying to look around for him, but I'm not able to pan my camera right now.
Brandon Lopez, I think.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm gonna stop trying to guess because it's just gonna make me look stupid.
Oh, that is Ray Rittenauer in front of him right now.
There you go. Andrew St. Coeur starting to build a lead on this thing. Got about 1.3 seconds of a lead on Jamie Horn. Kevin Thompson about 4.2 seconds back. After that, there is a huge gap. Zach Michael, who's currently running in 4th place, 14 seconds behind the race leaders. Mark Dumont continues to gain time. I mean, we saw he just got his lap back about 15 laps ago. It's about 24.6, 24.7 to get around the track, and he is 17 seconds off of the race leaders. I mean, he's gained a good 15 seconds back in the last 20 laps or so.
Yeah, he's still gaining on the leaders too. So I mean, if he's doing that strategy, which he's probably got something else worked up his sleeve here, but he's doing the right thing. If that is the plan, is to just burn it up and then short pit them, and then try to really be out front for a while. But knowing that those guys will have to pit a little bit later.
I mean, I love it. It's a good strategy, and Mark Dumont's shown how good he is on fresh tires. I mean, he can go out there, and if he does end up short pitting these guys, he can go out there and tear it down for 25 laps, and he might be able to build a lead that nobody else can really come back from. But that is a horrifying thought when you know that you have really, really fast cars like Andrew St. Coeur, Jamie Horn, Kevin Thompson, whoever else, that are going to be trying with everything they have to run you down in the last 40 or 50 laps of the race, and you're not going to be coming down again.
In some ways, I could see where it might even make it easier for somebody like St. Coeur to have somebody do a strategy like that, or Jamie Horn, because you know it's kind of, don't worry about tires. Say, I just got to get in front of that guy by the last lap, essentially. And you also know that his tires are going to be getting worse and worse as the run goes on, so you can be able to gauge it from there. But right now, St. Coeur is not worried about any of that. This man is rolling.
So maybe St. Coeur tried to step on it a little bit too. He is starting to put some real separation between himself and Jamie Horn, now 2.5 seconds back. You have the flip side of the coin that we're talking about too. You got guys like Mark Dumont that as soon as they come out there with fresh tires, I mean, they are giving it everything they have. And it shows in how quickly they're able to put time on other cars. But when you have guys out there like Jamie Horn, like Kevin Thompson, who are noticeably not getting around that track at those speeds, you have to wonder if they're just trying to save something so they can try to make a big push, maybe in like the last 10 laps or so before we have more pit road.
Yeah, riding on top here with Jamie Horn. Somebody, I believe that's St. Coeur at the bottom of the track. Oh, I don't know what happened there. See if we can back that up really quick for you. I don't even have an event recorded for it. Like St. Coeur coming out of that corner, hits that bump. Yeah, there is a bump right there at turn 4. That gets you just a little bit loose, and that got him loosened up. Puts the ball on the track. Nothing hurt. Lost about a second in front of Jamie Horn, though, but he's getting right back out there to it.
Yeah, he's right back in the saddle, and I mean, a really good save there to not end up kind of ruining your race. But like you said, he did lose about a second there, and that can definitely, some of those bumps right there where it gets you loose and you have to kind of save to keep it from spinning. I mean, that can put a big wear and tear bump on your tires as well.
Yeah, I believe it was St. Coeur last week that was talking about how the repay, they still kept the
Oh
character.
no, Jamie Horn went to bring it down and he missed it.
Let's see if we can back up just a little bit to get that too. Again, nothing recorded here on my side. Yep, there it is. I'm telling you, it just sneaks up on you, man.
34 machine of Zach Michael did succeed in bringing it down. That's going to put him laps down, but he's going to have fresh tires here.
Cycle back to Joe McKnight. Just saw him
As we
on
go
the
on
bottom
109.
of the track. Oh, Nick Atwood, Joe McKnight getting into it. No caution out. Wow. Wow.
Little shocked that one didn't bring out the caution. I mean, big damage there. Especially on that 51 machine of Joe McKnight. But, I mean, realistically, they were out of the way. No danger to other drivers.
And I love that, man. I mean, I race in another league that will call a caution if you sneeze the wrong way, and drives me insane. I love a good caution-free race. Let the boys run.
Hey, man, you got to watch out for those germs. This has definitely caused a shuffle out front. Andrew St. Coeur now in the lead by 7.8 seconds. Kevin Thompson, his teammate, back about 8.2 seconds. Mark Dumont, 15 seconds back. Running in third place. Which that's crazy to think about. Mark Dumont not only got back around the race leaders to get his lap back, he went all the way back around and was passing for position. If that's not a testament to what the fresh tires can bring you here tonight in the North American Specialized 150 here at Iowa, I really don't know what will.
Yeah, I mean, you can see from the deltas here on your screen too, between him and Andrew St. Coeur, he's still gaining time. The past 6 laps, he's only gained about half a second, whereas before we were seeing him gain about a second over all those laps, but he's still gaining some time. He had 1 lap where he wasn't. Now he's going to be up here in second place as we see Kevin Thompson bringing it down pit road. Zach Miller, haven't talked about him a lot tonight, but hanging out there in 4th place for the most of it. But Zach Miller getting off. That might be his last stop for the night. Same thing with Kevin Thompson. St. Coeur looks like he's dropping it down low. Might be bringing it in this time by.
Yeah, St. Coeur called it. He called it out. He is trying to bring it down this time by. And he is going to successfully make it down pit road.
And if this is the case, I mean, I feel like if you're Mark Dumont, you got to bring it down like soon.
I mean, this is going to put you back in the race lead, but I think realistically, next lap or the next lap by, unless you are just really that confident in your ability to keep it out here for another 10 laps or so, and then let what will be. I mean, far be it for me to doubt him. He's shown how fast he is on fresh tires tonight, but that would just be my thought. But I think if you run this thing any longer than 5 more laps, if you're Mark Dumont,
yeah,
it's going to get really hairy at the end of this thing.
It essentially be hurting him as we're going to try to pull up here. The last time that Mark Dumont did pit was lap 78. If we go to our stint length here, you see he's been out for about 42 laps. It took him about 42 laps to get 10 seconds within the leader, or to the leader, but don't have that much time left, and he would probably need about 40 to 60 or 50 to 60 laps of just good run to catch all the way up.
And he is in the race lead by about 8.9 seconds over Eric Warman. Josh Cully's running third, 14 seconds back. But again, same kind of thing that we saw last time. These guys are able to get their laps back and get them back quickly. Andrew St. Coeur already burning it up. He got around Mark Dumont and just took off. So I don't know if you're Mark, if you're just kind of banking on this point that they're just going to, in an effort to try to get all the way back around quickly, if they're just going to burn them up. And so if you get that, 10, 12 lap buffer, that's going to make that much of a difference at the end. But I don't know. I feel like if this is your strategy, you want kind of the longest shot clock as possible. And every lap that goes by, it's going to be cutting into that.
Yeah, it's kind of what I was trying to show there with the stint links that he had. I mean, it took him 42 laps to catch up to about 10 seconds, and we only have about 50 to go right now. And he would need a little bit more than 42 laps to catch back all the way back up. So it just seems like every lap that he runs out here is probably hurting him a little bit more each lap through.
Yeah, and especially when you have that Andrew St. Coeur's only 19 seconds back at this point. I mean, Andrew St. Coeur's put 5 seconds on him in the last 5 laps. Jamie Horn's only 13 seconds back. And Eric Warman, who's 10 seconds back, just called out that he's bringing it down. So
see, Eric
you're getting
Warman
to that point
comes
again
down.
where getting to the point where everyone out there is going to have the faster tires than you. I don't know, man. This is going to get weird.
We do have some cloud covers coming over top of the track right now. It's going to bring the track temp down to a good old 106, man. We started at 118 during qualifying, so the car is definitely going to handle different than these guys that had it in qualifying. And at the beginning of the race, we're about 10 degrees less than what we started with.
100%.
I actually think we're at
right
112, but still.
I mean, right now I'm looking at some of these times, and Andrew St. Coeur's last lap was a 23.884. Jamie Horn's was a 24.301. Mark Dumont's previous lap, I know he just crossed the stripe at a 24.9. But before that, it was over 25 seconds.
Yeah, on your screen here, the column, you can see that is the last lap time these guys had. St. Coeur getting around Gary Armijo, who washed up a little bit into the wall there. Josh Cully throwing down some good times too.
Josh Cully currently a lap down right now, but is still running in the top 5 again. Really big performance out of him tonight. Getting back up to the front from 19th, but I don't know, man. Far be it from me to call out somebody else's strategy. I love watching it play out, but you gotta wonder when the shot clock's gonna kind of run out on him.
Yeah, and all these guys that are a lap down will cycle out if they are at least one lap down. Pull up the gaps here so you can see like Josh Cully, Zach Miller, Nick Atwood, Eric Warman, Brandon Trush, Bill Gentry, Zach Michael.
Mark Dumont bringing it down.
Yeah, so they will get their lap back and cycle back out of this. If you're 2 laps down, you'll go to 1 lap down. Maybe 2.
Oh, at a minimum. Depends on how fast you're able to get it back around, but Mark Dumont, your race leader, definitely going to be our second most laps led tonight behind Jamie Horn. Oh, not a great pit stop for Mark Dumont. Went a little too far in pit road. Had to bring it back just a little bit. There's going to be 45 laps to go when he gets this thing off of pit road. Will that be enough time to get the job done here at Iowa Speedway tonight? Again, big shout out while we're seeing Mark Dumont bring it off of pit road. Big shout out to all of our sponsors for making this thing happen. Group 6 being our series sponsor, North American Specialized for being our race sponsor, and also all of our longtime friends in Shoney's and Butt Kicker. Jamie Horn, now your race leader. with Andrew St. Coeur about 3.3 seconds back on him. Kevin Thompson running in third, 12 seconds back. Josh Cully fourth. He's going to be 19.8 seconds back. Everybody else on the track going to be at least a lap down.
Yeah, and I thought 5 through 11 would get their lap back. I didn't realize that. I guess Horn, all of them had already passed them one time, so
Yep.
that is why they are not getting their lap back yet, even though Mark Dumont did pit.
Yeah, because that's the other thing to think about here is that Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Coeur especially, I didn't see too much of how Kevin and Josh were running it. They're all on a similar pit road timing, but Jamie and Andrew, especially when they got off pit road, were really, really letting it eat.
Yeah, looking at
So how much are they still going to have left in the tank to
looks-
finish this thing off?
St. Coeur has brought Jamie Horn in a full second the past 5 laps, 6 laps here.
Wow.
Trying to see if there's anybody close to somebody. Jamie Horn making the pass here on Zach Michael. Gonna set him back another lap.
Andrew St. Coeur still gaining time, man.
Yeah, brought that thing down to 1.5. And Jamie Horn did pit a little bit earlier than St. Coeur as well, so something to watch out for there for sure. That's Richard Leclerc in the 117 up near the wall. These drivers trying to skirt around him. Josh Cully also picking up time on the leader.
I mean, everybody's still racing their hearts out, which is awesome to see, but going to be very interesting to see how this thing ends up. Lap 140 as we cross the stripe right there. Only 35 laps to go. Jamie Horn still has a lead of 1.4 seconds on Andrew St. Coeur. It's been Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Coeur that we've seen kind of battling back and forth for the race lead all night long. And then Mark Dumont with the really interesting pit road strategies here brought on by that very first caution. It's gotten him some laps led. It's got him in the top 10, but is it going to get him any more than that?
Yeah, I'm watching Nick Atwood here. He's got to get around Jamie Horn to get back on the lead lap. But he is in 5th place, which is surprising. Only 4 guys on the lead lap right now. And I don't think that Horn, St. Coeur, Thompson, or Cully are going to pit again.
No, I think everyone at this point, at least pit road strategy wise. I mean, obviously that might get a little something thrown in it if we have another caution, but if this thing stays green, I don't think anyone needs to pit again.
I got Zach Miller looking like he's bringing down pit road with some damage. He was having himself quite a night too, and hopefully nothing bad there.
There's Adam Thompson in that 71 car. He's moving around Andrew St. Coeur and Tyler Millette down on the inside. He's currently running at 3 laps down. He had a little trouble on pit road earlier that set him back a lap off of the cycle. And he's been kind of fighting from behind ever since, currently running in 15th position.
Yeah, we just saw Brandon Lopez make a pass for position there around Zach Michael. Both of those guys still 2 laps down. Right now, this is probably not the best situation for Andrew St. Coeur with 3 cars of buffer between him and the leader.
I mean, he's still, like you said, we were talking about, he's still maintaining at least. He's not really losing any time on Jamie Horn. Still under 1.5 seconds back. Actually gained time just that last lap, but it does make it a lot harder to make any moves if you got 3 cars kind of buffering it. But definitely looking like we're seeing a slowdown out of Jamie Horn, and really unfortunate for him. I mean, you got to think where he would be if he didn't have that that little issue getting onto pit road earlier on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a little slip up trying to get on the pit road. Missed the entry of pit road just a little bit. Had to bring it around one more time, but definitely lost him a lot of time. St. Coeur, almost the same thing, though, not with pit road, but getting loose, hitting that bump coming off turn 4. Set him back a few seconds. I don't think his was quite as significant as Jamie Horn's, but still enough to hurt you and things you look back on in the race.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, we've seen some really dominating performances this year, and tonight's been kind of a night that's been more categorized by pit road strategy and the little mistakes that have kind of put people back in or knocked them out of the race. Andrew St. Coeur's cost him about a second when he was starting to at least to look like he was pulling away from Jamie Horn earlier on. I mean, you got to think Jamie probably lost a good 9 or 10 seconds with the pit road entry.
I think St. Coeur's got to get around these cars sooner rather than later here.
I know we talked about it at the beginning of the race, but this is a longer of the short tracks, but still not long enough to where you can wait until the last 4 or 5 laps to make your move. Still way too much track for that.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks where your aero is going to play just a little bit more than something like a Martinsville for sure, but also not big enough where you're going to have a draft play any effect hardly at all. If anything, you can throw some aero blocks here into the corners, but it's not going to be as tough as some of these other tracks like Michigan and Auto Club.
Checking back in with Mark Dumont. He is making a pass for position right now. Going around the 31 machine of Eric Warman. They are both a lap down, so it's going to put Mark Dumont into 6th.
I just heard somebody blow up. I don't know who it was, but somebody's car just blew up. Checking it.
Looks like it might have been the 117 of Richard Leclerc who's bringing it down pit road right now. Andrew St. Coeur has worked his way around a lot of that lap traffic. He not only has Nicholas Atwood, who is his teammate, separating him from Jamie Horn. Nicholas Atwood going to the high side. Andrew St. Coeur only 0.8 of a second off of the race lead at this point.
Yeah, just trying to check in here with Jamie Horn, Mark Dumont. I mean, Dumont's only been gaining about a second over 6 laps. That is not going to be enough to get around this track in front of Jamie Horn and then back around him one more time. I mean, at this point, I guess you got to either hope to get around him and pray for a caution at the end, or take fresh tires and know you can get to the front, but that's still going to be tough just to catch him in that time span.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think that any sort of pit road strategy at this point are really going to have the time to fully pay off. I mean, we've only got 20 laps left to go in this thing, and we've shown that on the if you're comparing the very fresh tires to tires that have been out there for 50 laps, like a lot of these guys have at this point, I mean, you can gain a second a lap, which is still just a crazy amount of time that you can make up. But when you're considering that you're going to be at least 1, probably 2 laps down, that's 48 seconds that you have to make up if you go 2 laps down, which Mark would, seeing as how he's already 1 lap down. That's just not going to be enough time.
Yeah, but if there was a caution, they were able to get out front, so they would get their lap back. Maybe a little bit different, but
100%. If we have a caution come out, I think everyone has to bring it down pit road. They're just going to see these guys out here just going crazy.
Or you just do the opposite of whatever the leader does. If the leader stays out, you're pitting. If the leader pits, you're staying out.
And just hope to block him out.
But we are coming down here to 18 to go. Looks like Jamie Horn's been holding on to this lead about the same pace St. Coeur is now free of all that lap traffic in front of him, so he has a chance to make a run here with 18 left. Adam Thompson's
100%
third place.
does.
9.5 seconds
Kevin
back. Kevin Thompson, I'm sorry. Thompson's, man.
The Thompsons. 'Cause that's the other thing you have to think about. When we saw Andrew really starting to gain on Jamie in the about 10 laps ago, you know, one of the things that we were talking about was that Jamie Horn did come down pit road before Andrew St. Coeur. Probably got 5 lap older tires, which, I mean, again, beating a dead horse, but the tire wear is been the story of this race. And you have to wonder how much Andrew St. Coeur has left in the tank to be able to go run him down. He actually lost a 10th that time.
See if we can hop into the cockpit with him to see how his steering wheel looks as he's coming around the corners. Yeah, he's trying to he got a little bit of input to it. Tells me his tire wear might be a little more than what he wants at this time. So we'll jump over here to Jamie Horn's car as well to see how he's handling it. You can see Jamie taking a much wider arc, trying to keep it as straight as possible. Coming into the corners and out of the corners. I think it's that weird thing that we talked about. You're trying to make a curve as straight as possible. You see Jamie Horn doing a fantastic job keeping that wheel tape near the top.
100%. I mean, Andrew he was gaining pretty consistently over the last 10 laps, and then he actually lost some time on the past few. The lead was over a second there that last time by. It looks like Andrew got a little bit of it. He's now 9/10 of a second behind. Then you got Kevin Thompson, who's almost 10 seconds behind Jamie Horn. Josh Cully, 18 seconds behind. And those are the only 4 cars on the lead lap. Nicholas Hatwood's your first car a lap down. He's running 5th. After that, you got Mark Dumont in 6th. I mean, he's still got a little ways to go before he's even in shooting distance of Nicholas Atwood. He's probably got 3 or 4 seconds.
And as we're coming to 12 to go, we are going to take a short break from the talking side and let you just have some good old sounds of the show. Coming back here with 8 to go. I did just get an update. Zach Michael having a little bit of trouble. He was trying to come out of that corner, may have gotten that bump as well, or trying to bring it on pit road actually. Yeah,
he is going to go ahead and bring it down pit road. Brandon Bakey in the comments again with the quips that I really wish I would have thought of. Rotten to the core.
It's good. It's good.
That's just good stuff.
I want to make up my own, but I feel like I would just be riding the wave at that point. I was gonna say core strength, but you know, gotta work out them abdominals, get that good core strength up. But I mean,
Either way, still pretty good stuff.
yeah, we did talk about this earlier tonight. That pit road was going to be a pretty big issue here. Not just getting on pit or not being on pit road and what you should do, but getting on pit road itself. The entry, I'm telling you, it comes out of nowhere. It's like some magical wizard land that just appears upon itself as you're coming upon it. And it has claimed a lot of people here tonight.
It definitely has, but one person that it looks like they got kind of caught up in it for a second and they just Harry Pottered themselves out of it is Jamie Horn. Back out in the lead of this race. Only 4 laps to go at this point, and he is out in the lead. He's got Andrew St. Coeur behind him. He's about 9/10 of a second back. I think the only thing that he can hope for at this point is that Jamie Horn has some trouble getting around these lap cars. He's got Mike Leftwich, and right now, is there going to be enough time for Andrew St. Coeur to run down Jamie Horn? You got to think both of them are on tires that are just screaming at this point. Well over 50 laps into the green flag run. Andrew St. Coeur loses a little bit of time that time by. Now he's got, that looks like the number 90 machine, Zach Miller, working his way around him. Let's put another car buffer between Jamie Horn and Andrew St. Coeur.
Yeah, it's crazy to see Jamie Horn kind of taking a little bit higher of a line there the past few corners. St. Coeur kind of followed the same line, almost doing the same thing, maybe overshooting it just a little bit, getting off that pavement. Final lap here, Jamie Horn in the lead.
White flag is in the air. Andrew St. Coeur gained another 10th back on that lap. He's 7/10 of a second behind. Does he have anything left in the tank that he can run down Jamie? Kevin Thompson running in 3rd. Josh Cully running in 4th. We are bringing it down the backstretch for the very final time. Jamie Horn going to get it done. Fights through the adversity, fights through the issues, and he is going to be our winner tonight at Iowa in the North American Specialized 150. Here in the Group 6 Cup Series. We have seen Jamie Horn have dominating victories. We have seen him win on drag strips. Tonight, he fights through some issues with that sneaky pit road. And he brings home the victory. He's going to get onto the corn and burn it down. Well deserved. Jamie Horn gives the crowd a show. Eats up the ear of corn right there. Well-deserved victory for him. We're going to go ahead and start getting these drivers into the lobby so we can get some interviews in here. Cat Crush in the comments saying congrats to the number 98 with the checkered flag. HEO also saying congrats to Jamie. We will get to the full standings here in just a few minutes, but while we're getting these drivers into the lobby so we can do our interviews, just to go back over it here really quick. Number 98 machine of Jamie Horn. Gonna bring it home in first place. Andrew St. Coeur bringing it down second. Kevin Thompson bringing it home in third. Another double top 3 for Team BMP. Josh Cully bringing it home in 4th, and a top 5 finish for Mark Dumont after running a strategy race here tonight. Adam Thompson in the comments saying that he had a rocket ship tonight, but had a speeding on pit road. Caught him on the radio just a few minutes ago, saying it was on the first pit that he got the black flag for speeding down pit road. We talked about it before the race. Fortunately, I guess that's a little bit of an announcer's curse there, that we thought that somebody would get busted for speeding on pit road tonight with that daggone pit road where it is. BMAC also wishing Jamie a congratulations and saying great job to Andrew. Sean Thompson, congrats to the 98 and good run to Kevin. BMAC also saying congrats to Kevin.
While we try to get these drivers up here, we're going to take a quick break, pull them up, and we will be right back. And we are back. Coming up first, I have your third place finisher, Kevin Thompson, joining us up here. Kevin, you got a copy in the booth with us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, man, congratulations on third place tonight. That Beast Mode Performance team just keeps on cooking it up every single week. Give us your thoughts on this race and how the run went overall tonight.
If you didn't take care of your tires, you were gonna blow them. At the end of that race, my right front was at 1%, and my
Wow.
right rear was at 17. So I'm glad we ran 175. If we was running 177 or 180, I would have blew a tire.
Wow.
But I'll take top 3 and move on to the next one.
Absolutely, man. And your teammate, Andrew St. Coeur, super fast out there. Did you think that the fresh tires had any play tonight? That how good were the fresh tires, in your opinion?
Oh, they were a rocket ship with Ford Fresh, super fast. If you took care of them, they would take care of you at the end of the run. But uh, talking to Jamie before coming up in the booth, he took 2 tires and it held on to after me and Andrew took 4. It just held us off, and 2 tires at the end there would have helped out a lot. But I'd rather took 4 and have the fresh in the long run and not have to deal with being loose with 2.
Absolutely. Well, man, we're heading to Watkins Glen next week. Road course action. Give us your thoughts on going to the Glen.
Same thing for Sonoma. Not a road courser. I know at Sonoma I messed up going into 1. Hopefully at Watkins Glen, I know Watkins Glen a lot better than I do Sonoma. Just keep it on track and bring it in top 10. Get ready for playoffs.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on P3 tonight. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you would like to give?
Yeah, shout out to my family that watches every week. Y'all in the broadcast booth, Nap Daddy on the car, my teammates at BMP, and Daniel for putting this on.
Yes, sir. Well, congrats again for coming in third place tonight and hope to see you up here next week at Watkins Glen.
Yep, you too.
All right, have a good one. It's going to be Kevin Thompson coming in third place tonight. Had a great car. I mean, the BMP guys have just been all over it for the past few weeks.
They've been crushing it, man. Again, like I was saying before, it's another double top 3 for the BMP guys. And I know Sean was offering that T-shirt again tonight for another win, but I don't know, man. Top 3, maybe some socks.
Some kind of apparel. But coming up next, I do have our second place finisher, Mr. Andrew St. Coeur, joining us back up here in the booth again. Andrew, you got us in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Welcome back, man. This is like every single week we're talking to you now. Just want to ask you about how the car was going. You had a rocket ship coming out of pit lane on that last stint you had there, making some ground, but it seemed like it kind of balanced out near the end. Talk us through that last stint.
Yeah, I was just watching the relative, and I saw Jamie had almost an 8-second gap on me when I come off pit road, and I knew I had 13 or 14 lap fresher tires, and I felt like he might have taken 2 tires. I wasn't quite sure because I knew he missed pit road, and I think he was trying to salvage track position and whatnot, and I think. I'll let him tell that story, but yeah, so when he took the 2, it just gave me the it kind of balanced out him missing pit road the first time by. And then I felt like I made the adjustment I needed to on the last run to loosen the car up a bit more for me, um, to be able to get through the dirty air and lap traffic. But as you saw, I mean, I think I took the 7.5 or whatever it was seconds. It didn't take me too many laps, and I was down within, a second and a half behind him, and then I got caught behind. Unfortunately, a couple lap cars for 15 laps or whatever it was, and it felt like an eternity. And I just couldn't. They had fresher tires than me, or I believe they did. One of them did for sure, and it just tore up my tires trying to get by them. And then that's really what balanced things out. And then when I did clear everybody, and got behind Jamie, it was just really, I was on eggshells. It was unbelievable how it was plowing tight in the corner, then insanely loose off. It was
Yeah.
like there was nothing. Um, there was nothing fun about those final 10 laps. It was literally you're just wheeling it the whole time, trying to get on throttle, spinning the rears. Um, it was a workout, and a lot of work just to see, a tenth gained and then lose a tenth and then gain a tenth and lose a tenth. And it's so I felt like he was having just as hard of a run as I was to maintain that gap. And but I mean, he definitely had the pit strategy. And then the other thing, I can't believe he made it as far as he did on tires. I think he pitted on, I think lap 108, if I'm correct, or thereabouts. And I think he was almost 70 laps on that final stint. And then, I mean, to do what he did with two tires is just unbelievably talented. And, the way he saved tires to be able to do that. Got to give him a lot of credit. He is the points leader for a reason. And, he's putting on a clinic out here on some of these tracks. And anyway, I got to commend him for the run he had. So
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, I cannot remember what lap it was, but on lap 89, you did make that pass right after the second stage to go around them and made up a lot of time there. Did you feel like you were burning it up too much? You think that Jamie had burned his tires up too much there?
no, actually, I felt awesome. That was the best my car felt the whole run, and I was up to I think 2.4, 2.5 seconds on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you picked up on it, but off four on whatever lap it was, probably 10 laps later or 8 laps later, I uh, I got loose off four. I hit that bump trying to get underneath a lap traffic on the wall. And they gave me lots of room. I just throttled up too hard with too much wheel in it and almost lost it four, and locked everything up just to straighten out the car so I wouldn't so I wouldn't wreck and ruin my night. And then when that happened, I looked at the relative, and Jamie was like 2.5, 2.6 seconds to 1.2 seconds behind me. He gained that time immediately, on that error on me. So I mean, I look back and I think about that particular moment as potentially the difference maker of the entire race for me, because if I hadn't have done that and hadn't have slid my rears the way I did, I feel like I would have continued to gap him a little bit on that run, when he essentially pitted not long after that, and then of course he was able to gap me. I should have pitted sooner, but I really felt like I didn't know if I could make it 65 laps on tires. My tire wear was, that second run, I was on my rights. I forget what it was now, but I was like 18, 15. I mean, how much further can you go, right? So I'm thinking, and then the final run was actually worse than that. So, yeah, it's what a crazy track, and but it was a lot of fun. I mean, this is a fun track to race, and I would love to come back here again. Um, but I know it's not going to happen this season. But we'll sharpen things up for next season.
Absolutely, and I hate to say it, but we did catch that little slip on the broadcast. I actually went back and watched on a replay on the broadcast too, and we're talking about the same thing. It's some things you look back on and you're like, man, that probably would have made the difference there. But overall, a fantastic run tonight. Before I let you go, is there any sponsor shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, just like to thank the team. It was Nick had a great run tonight as well. I think finished sixth, and Kev obviously finished third. I think the top three in the point standings are the top three in the race, so it's kind of fitting. So great run by Kev, and thank the rest of the guys of BMP. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Of course, Daniel. Hopefully he's healing up well, and we see him back soon. And thanks for the viewers out there, and shout out to BMAC. So
Cannot forget
that's pretty well it
B-Mac.
for me.
Yeah, I cannot
Oh, yeah,
forget
I'm sure
B-Mac.
she. I keep missing the. I don't get on the broadcast quick enough before the comments go away, so I don't get to see a lot of them. But I'll have to jump on here now before I shut things down and read read some of the comments.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again tonight, man, in second place, and looking forward to seeing you next week.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right, have a good one.
All right, see ya.
It's going to be Andrew St. Coeur coming in second place tonight. It's crazy, like all the stuff that he was kind of hitting on is kind of the same things we were hitting on earlier about the little spins and how you think it can cost you throughout the race and stuff like that. And I mean, he finished within a second of Jamie Horn, and that slip up did cost him about a second. So it's just things you think about. I mean, and who knows, this the whole butterfly effect. If he wouldn't have slipped up, other things could have happened that would have changed some of the dynamics of the race, but you never know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and then Jamie Horn having to take 2 tires to make up for the pit road slip up and still be able to hold off at the end. I mean, just the way everything adds up there. I mean, we already thought it was a really great race and really, really fun to watch, but just kind of learning some of those behind the scenes things makes it even more interesting. Sean Thompson in the comments while we were finishing up saying headband for sweating out those tires. So congrats, Kev, on winning that sweatband. And Eric Warman, our 7th place finisher tonight, saying that the top 3 need to head over to the claim area. There's claim area on all 3 of them.
Yeah, those guys were fast tonight, but I want to figure out more about that from Mr. Jamie Horn himself. Jamie, you got a copy of this in the booth? I don't know if he's actually there right now. Jamie, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir, I do.
There we go. Well, man, congratulations again tonight, picking up another win. I'm trying to look up the stat sheet right now as I'm talking to you about this. You've got 6 wins for this season, 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s, holding on to first place by quite a lot. Talk us through this race tonight. I want to hear more about that 2-tire strategy you had as well.
That was actually a mistake on my part, really. I don't know if y'all caught it or not. I was going into pit and I was going too fast and couldn't get it slowed down to get into the pits on that final stop, and so I had to go back around, and I knew I was going to have to do something to try to salvage the race. I never thought I'd come out in the lead. I just figured I'd be somewhere top 5 range, hopefully, and just get a salvage of a night trying to make up what happened. And somehow I got the lead and was able to keep it with those 2 tires. I was telling Andrew, I really honestly, I don't think I could have held on to it 5 more laps. I was so loose, and I mean, I had the throttle so much in the corners. I told him coming out of 4, I was like under 100 miles an hour just trying to keep it from spinning.
Well, man, you held on to it pretty well tonight. I did notice as the race went on, really like the last 5 laps, so like you were changing your lineup just a little bit. Was that by design, or was that just because the way the car was going?
So I want to say probably the later part of that run, I started running higher, and it was helping me keep the car from being so loose coming off, and then coming to the end there, I caught the some lap cars, and they was running the same line as me, so I had to try to adjust just to keep from getting getting that dirty air to make me push, and then I was going to push and then get real loose after. I mean, these cars are horrible in dirty air. You get tight loose and it snaps sometimes. And I was just trying to figure out a way I could just run a line and keep Andrew behind me. And I was watching the relative too much and messing up. And I was like, man, he's going to get me. But ended up working out. And that's not the person I want to see behind me for sure. Whenever I'm really loose and can't hardly drive the car. So I know he'll be there ready to pounce any mistake I make. So I was nervous.
Yeah, man. I mean, I noticed the last like 5 laps, but look, yeah, you were running that little bit higher of a line. Does that strip help play a little bit that they've paved coming out? Or are you trying to hit that as you're coming out of the corners?
A little bit. I was trying to. So if you get out of that strip and get into the gray area, there's like zero grip up there, at least for me and my setup. And I would loop it real easy if I got out of that new paved strip. So I was trying to stay on that and just keep the car as straight as I could coming around the corner and off the corner. Because if I had any wheel in it, I mean, I don't know what the right tire was by the end of it, but and the left, but it would just felt like if I mashed the gas a little bit, the back end just wanted to come around. So it was a challenge to keep it up for keep the car from coming out from under me.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. And hopefully we'll see you again next week at Watkins Glen up here in the booth. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Great broadcast y'all do every week. Group 6 for being the league sponsor, or series sponsor rather. Nap Daddy Racing, Shoney's Butt Kicker, SSR Designs, Brandon Trush for sponsoring the race tonight. Shout out to Daniel for everything he does for the league and all the admins, everything they do to keep it going. Um, Thanks to all my teammates for all the practice they do and all the help, you know, bringing fast setups each week. Um, Thanks to Ryko for the setups, and shout out to my mom watching at home.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations again on this win. I think, like I said, this is your 6th win of the season. Got your first place spot pretty well up there. So hopefully you see you again next week, and I'll let you go from here. But have a good night.
All right, y'all too.
Take care, man.
That's Jamie Horn, your first place finisher tonight. I forgot I already asked him for setups, or not setups, sponsors and shout outs. Not setups. I'm not racing up here, but yeah, sorry, a little loss of thought there as I'm trying to end this up and keep things from falling off my desk. But overall, man, just a great race from everybody out there. Just it was hard to get around it. I kind of knew there was going to be some lap traffic. I didn't expect it to be this much, but shout out to everybody for sticking around and racing it out, trying to get as many points as they can.
100%. I mean, I can definitely say it was not the race that I necessarily thought was going to happen, but I mean, seeing Jamie Horn, Andrew St. Coeur, Kevin Thompson up at the top 3 at the end of the race, definitely not unexpected, but just the different strategies that had to come into play. And then, also can't leave, Mark Dumont out of the discussion. I mean, got himself a very well-earned top 5 tonight, and, kind of started a very different pit road strategy to everybody else based off of the spin early in the race. I believe I was like lap 16, lap 17, and was able to parlay that into a 5th place finish tonight. So really good job by him as well tonight. I know a lot of guys had some fast cars out there, and all sorts of manner of different things kind of coming into play. But Jamie being able to hold that thing off and finishing first after only taking 2 tires, and Kevin was saying that he took 4 and was finishing with like 2% on the tires. Would have blown a tire in the next 2 laps is pretty incredible. So the man's the points leader for a reason. Really good job by him tonight, and everybody else as well. Biggest mover tonight. Again, surprised to absolutely no one's going to go to Mr. Josh Cully. Up 15 spots tonight, getting himself a 4th place finish tonight. Great job by him as well. So really, really fun race here tonight, man. I was fun. Really cool race to watch. And let's be honest, if you've ever been to Iowa, a race is got to be the most exciting thing you see all year. There's just a lot of corn in that state.
Don't do them like that. Well, before we go here, just give us a quick little shout out to our sponsors.
I can make that happen. Again, thank you, first of all, to everyone who joined us here tonight. We had well over 20 viewers for most of the race here tonight, so thank you to everyone who joined us for tonight. Be sure that if you haven't yet, that you Leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the action here on Doghouse Racing TV. We're coming into playoff time here, so it's only going to get more exciting from here. But as mentioned many times tonight, this is the Group 6 Cup Series, so a special big shout out to Group 6 for being our series sponsor this year. Group 6 is a leading creative agency, and they are passionate about crafting cutting-edge websites, developing dynamic web solutions, and providing top-tier managed hosting services. Their mission is to help businesses of all sizes enhance their presence. Explore the wide range of services they offer at group6inc.com and see how they can help drive your digital success. Again, special shout out to Group 6 for being the series sponsor. We appreciate it very much. Keeping these cars going around the track and keeping us up here in the booth. Heard Jamie mention it just a few seconds ago. But for the first time this year, we do have a new race sponsor, and it is North American Specialized. North American Specialized is your one-stop shop for all freight movement needs. They're an asset-based brokerage with locations in Warren, Michigan, and Laredo, Texas. Ready to move your freight, big or small. Drive-ins, sprinter vans, and even double-drop Conestogas. That's not the right word. Conestogas. You name it, they move it. Backed by experience, equipment, and excellence when it comes to freight, North American Specialized delivers. Visit them at www.naslcorp.com. Again, special shout out to them for being our race sponsor tonight. Special shout out to Brandon Trush for bringing them in to sponsor. I knew I was going to mess that word up tonight. I'm so mad because I did so good the first time. Golly.
We even
going to think about that.
I had to look it up on Google to figure out what it was and Google pronunciation to figure out how to say it.
I am going to think about that at 2 a.m. tonight. God bless. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, thank you, North American Specialized. I will get the word Conestoga right next time, I promise. Back on track.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Again, special shout out to Shoney's as well. Shoney's longtime partner and friend of the Doghouse Racing League is very proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Be sure to stop by one of their West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's bring new delicious food and friendly service since 1947. And we're also very proud to be sponsored in the Doghouse Racing League and Group 6 Cup Series by Butt Kicker. If you want to take your iRacing or sim racing experience in general to the next level, be sure you check out their website at thebuttkicker.com to get the best in racing haptics. And longtime sponsor and friend of the brand over here. We appreciate Butt Kicker and all they do. Be sure to head along to their website and check them out. And then, as always, at the end of this race, before we close this thing out, a little self-plug shout-out for myself and John. We make up a brand called Nap Daddy Racing, and we do, obviously, the broadcasting thing, but we've also tried to be a one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Originally started as an iRacing design shop in 2024. We've branched out to try to be kind of the place to go for all things iRacing. Be sure to check out the website, napdaddyracing.com, spelled KNAPPDADDYRACING.com, for any custom design, template, or logo needs. Even have some stuff for free up there as well. I believe we had a couple of free templates go up in the past couple of weeks, and there is no better price than free. So be sure to head on over there and check it out. And even if you're not really into iRacing, just want to support the boys, be sure to grab a t-shirt or a hat to help support. Check us out here on Doghouse Racing TV every single Thursday night. Soon to be on our own channel on Monday nights for some more league racing that you'll be able to see shortly, and live on TikTok as often as we can. And to close it out, we are, as always, extremely proud to be a part of Group 6 Cup Series and the Doghouse Racing League. And excited to be broadcasting on Watkins Glen next week.
Absolutely, man. Going to the Glen next week. Road course action. Be a different skill set for a lot of these drivers, so I'm excited excited to see how that's going to play out. I mean, it's going to be a big transition going from Indianapolis, then to Iowa, and then we're going to Watkins Glen. So it doesn't get much better than it does here in the Doghouse Racing League. But excited to get there. Excited to keep seeing these point system play out here. And approaching playoff time. A lot of drivers trying to kick it up into gear and get going. But other than that, that's going to be just about it for us here tonight. From the Doghouse Racing League, you can catch out some more Doghouse Racing action on Tuesday nights over on Tennessee Broadcasting. That's going to start at 7:45 on Tennessee Broadcasting on YouTube as they race in the ARCA Series, getting about 5 races into the season, 6 races into the season. Going to Kansas. Eric Warman picking up a win last Tuesday night, but good racing over there. And the next Thursday night will be right back here, 7:45 Eastern Time, showing you the Watkins Glen track and the Doghouse Racing lead on it. So pretty exciting stuff. Ready to get there, ready to see some bus stop action if that we're already in the bus stop there. But other than that, thank you everybody for hanging out, spending your Thursday night with us. Thanks everybody in the comments, everybody viewing. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notifications so you get updates whenever we go live here. If there's anything else that you do on social media that can support the Doghouse Racing TV, be sure to do that too. Pretty sure all of it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. And again, who can be free?
Nobody. I've tried.
Yeah, that's going to be it for us here tonight for the last time. I'm John.
And I've been hungry.
We will see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.
Hey! Is this heaven?
No. It's Iowa.